Modern women admit defeat as more men are going their own way.
I'm 30 years old. Here's why most men won't date me. Well, I think you just told us why, but let's see. I wake up naturally before 6 a.m. No, that's not the reason. I work up 7 days a week. No. I have way too many hobbies. No. I don't watch TV. No. I expect direct it. No. Inconsistency gives me. No. If someone hurts or disrespects me, I quietly put no. I'm a lover girl to a foot. No. I have a zero tolerance policy for hot and cold. No. I don't entertain cat and mouse games. No. If you spend a lot of time with me, I will convince you that you're capable of everything you've ever dreamed of. How could that be a no? I read you like a book. No. I'm in a different country at least once per quarter. Okay, there we go. Now you're saying the truth. Yeah, that's a massive red flag. I am expensive. Oh, so you're a gold digger. You saved the last two for the actual reason that most men don't want to entertain a 30-year-old expensive woman. Oh, it's because I have a lot of hobbies. No, it's because you're a gold digging.
She's out of her prime now. As the months go by, the list gets shorter. A lot of times what she says she is isn't what she responds to. Literally put the reasons at the bottom where no one is going to scroll.
You want to know something that most women aren't ready to hear? Modern feminism killed chivalry. Modern feminism has shifted from seeking equality to promoting superiority and resentment towards men, framing men as oppressors rather than partners and equals. With the birth of modern feminism, there came the birth of the girl boss, I don't need a man. Chivalry was never meant to make women look weak. It was made to create a culture of mutual respect where men acted honorably towards women and acknowledged their virtue and grace. Modern feminism, by demanding sameness instead of equality, has blurred those lines. In trying to erase gender differences, it's erased the gestures that celebrate them. The result of this is now we have an entire generation of men who are not willing to honor, pursue, or protect women. We have this entire generation of men who just want to hook up on the first date, who have no respect for women, who don't hold open the door, who don't buy flowers, and it is because of modern feminism. Not only that, but it is also a result of weak men. There's a reason that our grandparents have the cutest love stories where the men pursued the women and they didn't have sex until they were married and they respected and honored each other. And now we are seeing the result of the crash and burn of modern feminism, and unfortunately it is affecting a lot of women looking for life partners and a lot of men looking for life partners. Feminism is great. The idea of feminism is great to promote equality, but it has evolved into something that is toxic and dangerous to our society.
No, there's no such thing as modern feminism. The feminism of today is the original feminism of the founding feminists. And there's no weak men. There's just men who have seen other men get accused of crimes they didn't commit, go to jail for crimes they didn't commit. So excuse men if they don't want to go to jail for something they didn't do. But feminism is a lot like Islam. You can promote the positive side to it all you want, but at the end of the day, it is nothing more than an extremist cult.
Masculine men do not want masculine women. I've noticed that a lot of feminist type women who are loud, who are boss babes, they'll complain that there are just no good men out there. I'll hear them say that men are just intimidated by them, that they're afraid of their energy and stuff. That's not true. The truth is they just don't like them. I know this is going to ruffle some feathers, but it is just reality. If you want to find a good man, you have to let yourself be a feminine woman. Men do not care how much money you make. They're not impressed by your degrees or what job you have. Modern feminists and just our current society send women messages from the time we're little girls that in order to have a happy, successful life, you need to basically become a man. You need to have all their traits. You need to be a leader. You need to be loud. You need to be strong. In reality, women competing with men just leaves us feeling icky and alone and bitter. Females are designed to be feminine. We are designed to receive. We are designed to be taken care of. And that's not a bad thing. It's so freeing to let go of society's rules of what you should be doing and just embrace your femininity. Let yourself be soft. Let yourself be graceful. Let yourself receive things from men. Let yourself be taken care of. It's amazing. And when you're able to really do that, the good men, the masculine men, the men that you want will be drawn to you. You won't even have to chase them.
Women hate men so much, they become them.
I hate this whole toxic feminist energy because I used to believe in it. I used to believe that women were equal to men, that a woman does not need a man. But that is not true. In this society, all the women are being lied to. And in a world full of toxic feminism, let's build our men up to be greater leaders, better protectors, and better guides.
It's too late. We are better off separated. No marriage, no kids, no problems. The sad thing is, only women are telling women that they don't need a man. Men ain't shit, and the list goes on. Very rarely do you ever see a man telling other men that he don't need a woman. Men know that isn't true. The thing is, more recently, men are walking away from women because of the experiences being had. Men are starting to be vocal about not needing a woman. Men are starting to listen. It won't be long and we'll be 100% against each other. In my humble opinion, society is on the road to ruin.
Men never stopped caring about women, but they were taught to stop showing it. There was a time in history where women were actually seen as precious, honorable, worthy of protection. In Christian thought, women were cherished in the eyes of God, and men were called to protect them as part of their moral duty. Simple acts like letting women go first, opening doors, offering a seat. These were all quiet expressions of respect, care, and value. But then feminism, however well-intentioned it was, significantly shifted the narrative. In the fight for equality, we lost something important. We were propelled into systems and workplaces that were never designed around our biological, emotional, or spiritual needs. And at the same time, men became hesitant to show basic forms of courtesy out of the fear of being labeled as misogynistic or offensive. And the result? Women today feel unseen, unappreciated, and quietly disrespected. So what's the solution? It's not about going backwards. It's not about going back to the 1950s. And it's not about denying our independence either. It's about finding a middle ground that protects our autonomy and agency, whilst also honoring our need to be nurtured, cherished, and respected. What does that middle ground look like to you?
Feminism is for equality between women and the elites, while looking down and blaming the average man for the sins of the elites. If you decide to be equal to men, you actually mean you want to compete with them, and you'll need to study how men behave and act around competition. It's one thing to fight for more rights for women, and it's something else to want to be equals. The middle ground can only exist if women understand the difference between fair rights for women and equality. Fair rights, it's great, but equality means something else, and it can't be nice. That's how we've gotten here. Our society doesn't need to go backwards. What needs to change is women need to start showing respect for men again, because that is what happened. Women don't even have respect for other women, let alone a man approaching her and trying to start a conversation with her without being labeled as a creep and being filmed and posted online. Pray God helps us and the generations to come.
Am I asking too much out of a 45-year-old man that's on a dating app? We match. We chit chat. On Tuesday, he asks if I want to get a drink. I said, sounds great. I said, what about Saturday? I said, my Saturday's free. His response was, lucky me. That was it. That was the only response. So Wednesday morning, I wake up and I said, just name the time and the place, and it's a date. Took him a whole day, we're now on Thursday, for him to respond and say he knows of 2 places in 2 different areas, but if that's too far, he can find somewhere else. I said, no, those are great. Not a problem. That was noon on Thursday. Date is Saturday. Rest of Thursday goes by. Nothing. Friday goes by. Nothing. Saturday, I wake up, getting through my day, morning, he texts, says, hey, I know you're a baseball fan. Are you also a football fan? I said, yeah. I'm out running errands. I'm at the farmer's market. It's 10:30 at this point. And he's like, do you want to watch the Rams playoff game or wild card game? I said, typically I'd love to, but that's at 1:30. So kind of need a little bit more notice than that. But I have held my evening for us to get drinks because I don't know what time. Are we going at 5? Are we going at 8? I don't know. I can't make any plans for my evening because he hasn't said, even though I've asked. He said, not a problem. Drinks, yeah, still on for drinks. Thought maybe that would tee up what the plan is. No, still no response after that. I let some time go by because I had already asked where, when, and I don't want to be pushy, but it's 1:30. And what am I supposed to do? Just get dressed and sit on my couch starting at 4:30 and wait for him to text me? I don't know. So I feel like now I'm getting bitchy and annoyed. And I know I'm a type A and I like a plan, but this not having one at all, and it's supposed to be this evening, and it feels like the expectation that I'm just holding my entire day for him for somebody that I don't even know feels a little disrespectful of my time. he's clearly going about his day. So, like, do I just go about my day and like be like, sorry, never didn't ever hear a formal plan, even though we talked earlier today? So I don't want to jump the gun and cancel, but also clearly this is not going to be my person, because it seems like dating for him is an afterthought, like doesn't really care. Like otherwise, at least 24 hours in advance, you'd maybe make a plan. I don't know. Am I asking too much? When would you call it? Like what is time of death here? And then what do you say? But actually, I think he just responded. So we'll see what that looks like.
You're asking too much. This guy probably just got out of a marriage and now he's free to do what he wants. You made a plan for drinks and he invited you to spend even more time with him watching the football game. A simple, I can't make the game, but what time for drinks would have been a perfect response. Be direct. He's obviously thinking one way while you're thinking another way. Just ask in a direct way. It's not rude. Hinting doesn't land like you think it does for some people. What is the plan for Saturday? I have some other things I need to do that day, so I need to plan ahead.
Okay, in my opinion and my experience, I think dating as a trans woman is so much more difficult when you pass even more. I'm saying this because when I was clockier, dating was somewhat easy because, people would come up to you. Well, if someone ever did, but if people come up to you, they know and they see what you are. They know what they're getting themselves into. And now that I've come to this point where I would say I'm like incredibly passing. I've been told that I don't look like a man at all. And yeah, I'd say I'm like an attractive individual. But at the same time, even though I get more attention than I have before, men coming up to me in the streets, I don't ever see any of that progressing, even though I wanted to. So for the men that do manage to get my contacts, I usually ghost them, like after a few days, because while I'm talking to them, I'm like, holy shit, I have to like come out to them like before we get committed for a date, because I low-key cannot stand the idea of being rejected for being myself, which is like, having to come out is already a big trauma, okay? But coming out to new people and being rejected for it, it's like, okay, maybe I should protect myself. Maybe that's just me. But I'm going to protect myself and I'm going to like remove myself from the situation before anything bad happens. I think that's like self-sabotage. And so I guess this way of thinking has made me use dating apps as a primary way of meeting new people, because I guess it's just so much easier to tell like people what I am by just like putting a flag in my bio. That's like the only way I really ever meet people. Like in my Instagram, I don't ever get messages. If you're like a normal human being with like a proper profile like page, you will have 100% chance of being replied to. It's literally that bad. So really, dating apps is what I tend to stick to. And it doesn't fucking help that I got banned on Hinge because these bitches didn't think I was real. Ugh. And now I gotta use the others. So yeah, I definitely say I had more success back then when I was early into my transition, and I definitely still look a little bit like a man. But would I ever go back to that? No. I look really tea right now, and I will stay like this. Like, I wouldn't ever go back.
She's saying dating is harder when you pass better, meaning when you're more attractive or present better. This is partially true, but not for the reasons she thinks. Here's what's actually happening. When you're very attractive, you get more attention, but most of it is sexual, not romantic. Men want to sleep with you, not necessarily commit to you. High-value men who could commit have unlimited options, so you're competing with every other attractive woman for their serious attention. Your attractiveness attracts the wrong men, players, commitment phobes, men who just want conquest, while quality, relationship-minded men assume you're out of their league or too much work. You mistake abundance of attention for abundance of quality options, leading to poor selection and disappointment. Your attractiveness can't compensate for lack of personality, cooperation, or feminine qualities that inspire commitment. Being very attractive often correlates with being pickier, more entitled, and harder to please, which drives men away despite initial interest.
So yes, dating can be harder when you're attractive, but it's because you're chasing the small percentage of men everyone wants, top tier, who have no incentive to commit to you specifically. You're rejecting quality men who would commit because they don't meet your inflated physical or status standards. You're confusing sexual attention with relationship interest and getting disappointed when hookups don't turn into commitment. Your attractiveness attracted men, but your personality, expectations, or behavior repelled them from staying. The harder truth: if you're very attractive and still struggling to find commitment, the problem isn't your looks, it's everything else. Your character, your cooperation, your standards, your selection process. Looks get you attention. Everything else determines whether quality men stay.